That's right, guys. Welcome back to Do Talk Chelsea. It is time we shift our attention from the Premier League to Champions League football, since the UEFA Champions League is back as with Atletico Madrid, and that is what our podcast is going to be about today. Firstly, I would like to thank all of you all for your continuous support, because of which we've hit 250 subscribers on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're listening to the podcast on Spotify or any other platform, make sure you give us a follow and keep listening to True Talk Chelsea for more top quality Chelsea content. Let's get into the video. So today I'm joined by Tremaine. Say hi, Tremaine.
Hey everyone, it's Tremaine from True Talk Chelsea. Hope everyone is doing well.
Right. So Tremaine is also a big fan of Atletico Madrid. He is a regular viewer of the team, and as you all know, I'm a Chelsea fan. And coincidentally, it's Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid, as we got to know after the UCL draw. So today we've taken up a very tedious task indeed of making a combined 11 of maybe the two best clubs in the world right now, we can say. Not quite with Chelsea, but definitely with Atletico Madrid. One of the best clubs in Spain versus one of the best clubs in England. And especially with the fact that we're making a combined 11, it's down to the squads they have. And Chelsea undoubtedly have one of the best squads in world football too. So it'll be a quite tough task. There'd be some debatable picks, some controversial picks. You all might disagree, but we will try to do our best to make this combined 11. Before starting, I would also tell you all that we are making this 11 based on form this season, as well as overall careers and abilities. So keep that in mind while judging our picks for the 11. The formation that we're going to be using is a 4-3-3 formation, since I think it's a good classic formation and it'll fit a combined 11 well. So to begin with, let's talk about the goalkeeper. Tremaine, what name do you put forward?
For the goalkeeper position, I would 100% go for Jan Black in goal. I think he has been the best goalkeeper in the world this season. He's been at the top level for a very long time now. He's only conceded 10 goals in 19 appearances in La Liga this season and has kept 11 clean sheets so far. He's been amazing for Atletico Madrid, and I think the reason why Atletico Madrid have conceded the least amount of goals in Europe's top 5 leagues this season is mainly down to Jan Oblak.
Definitely, no doubt. As good as Edouard Mendy has been this season, and as much as I want him on the list, can't really debate with this one. I would allow Jan Oblak to be the guardian between the sticks. Has been, according to me, the best goalkeeper in recent times, probably the last 3 to 4 years, and quite an easy pick to kick off the 11, but won't be the same going ahead. And I think the first debatable pick we will have is at right back now. So let's move on to the right back position. The three candidates that I see, two of which are from Chelsea, Reece James and Cesar Azpilicueta, and another English right back who's highly promising and who's an amazing player too, which is Kieran Trippier, who plays for Atletico Madrid. So, Tremaine, what do you think? Should it be Trippier or either of the Chelsea right back?
I think Kieran Trippier has been really good for Atletico Madrid this season. I think he's really flourished under the system that Diego Simeone has put out for him and the role that he must perform. He's been very good going forward. He's got a couple of assists. He links up with Luis Suarez very well. I think Trippier has been one of the best right backs in La Liga this season.
I would kind of agree. I've personally been massively impressed by Trippier too. But since we're going to be judging this on this season purely and not more about overall careers, there's no doubt that Trippier has had a much better career than Reece James. But talking about this season, Reece James has massively impressed the entire Premier League football, and if you look at it in this way, that he is particularly benched as Peliqueta, which is not exactly an easy task to do, and he's been one of the best Chelsea players. He's assisting goals with those crosses, he's scoring them with those long range shots, and so much of defensive solidity as well. Good physique, good speed, very complete. I think one of the most complete right backs in the Premier League. So, what do you think, Tremaine? Who should we finally go for?
I think we should go for Reece James. It's a tough decision, but I think he's the most complete out of the three right backs.
Definitely, because of the fact that Reece James is the most complete right back and that he's had an amazing season so far. We've gone for Reece James. So now we have a goalkeeper and right back who've come from both from different teams. Now we're going to be going for a centre back pairing. So we've got plenty of centre backs to choose from both the clubs. Tremaine, what do you think should be our ideal centre back pairing?
I think the two centre backs that we should choose.
You should also probably mention about the various options, and then we could list down the two of the best of them.
Yes, definitely. There have been a lot of good centre backs from Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, some of them being Thiago Silva from Chelsea, Kurt Zouma, Rudiger when he's called upon has been good. For Atletico Madrid, we've had Jose Maria Jimenez, Felipe, Stefan Savic, Maria Hermoso. But if I have to pick two, I think I would definitely go with Thiago Silva and Jose Maria Jimenez. I think those two centre backs are proven world class. Thiago Silva has been at the top level for most of his career. He has a big impact on the Chelsea defense. He's calm, he's composed, he's experienced. And as for Jose Maria Jimenez, we know a lot of the time he's injured, but when fully fit, he is without a doubt Atletico Madrid's best defender and he's world class. So if I have to pick two, I'd 100% go for Thiago Silva and Jose Maria Jimenez.
Stole the word right from my tongue. That's exactly who I was going to pick. Thiago Silva and Jose Maria Jimenez. That would be an amazing duo, which we could see at Chelsea next season, considering the fact that Jimenez is being linked to Chelsea. But for now, he's an Atletico Madrid player, and the centre back pairing would be one representative from both the clubs, and ultimately it turns out to be Thiago Silva and Jose Maria Jimenez. Let's move on to left back position. Tremaine, who do you put forward as left back?
For the left back position, this is a very tough one because Lodi from Atletico and Chilwell from Chelsea have both been very good this season. But I personally would go for Lodi because I think he's better than Chilwell in the aspect that he's more versatile. He's, as a left back, he's been amazing going forward defensively. He's pacey. And even when Diego Simeone has played three at the back, we've seen Renan Lodi play as a left wing back. And he's been superb there as well going forward. I know at Chelsea, as a left wing back, people would much prefer to have Marcos Alonso on the left wing back position rather than Ben Chilwell. So for the left back position, I would go for Renan Lodi.
I have to say that before Tremaine, you started your argument in favor of Lodi, I was not going to agree with this one. I would definitely have put forward Chilwell as a name, but I think you've made quite some valid points, especially when it comes to the versatility. We could see the fact that even someone like Alonso, who's not been so great defensively, has been preferred to over Chilwell at left wing back. And last game we saw Chilwell a bit ineffective, and yeah, and Lodi's been amazing. So I think we could go ahead with Renan Lodi to complete a back four. So thus revising the back five, which with the goalkeeper would be Yano Black, Reece James, Thiago Silva, Jose Maria Gimenez, and Renan Lodi. Let's move on to the midfield three. Quite a good looking defense, doesn't it?
Definitely.
So for the defensive mid position, what do you think, Tremaine? Who should we go with?
I think the two candidates that are there for the defensive midfield position is Jorginho from Chelsea and Kondogbia from Atletico Madrid. We know Thomas Partey was an important player for Atletico Madrid, but unfortunately,
don't forget N'Golo
he
Kante
left.
as well. So we'll shortlist down to Jorginho and N'Golo Kante and Kondogbia. So who do you think you should be a pick?
For the pick, I think N'Golo Kante hasn't been at his best this season, so I'm gonna shorten it down to Kondogbia and Jorginho because I think Jorginho this season, especially under Thomas Tuchel, has been very good and much more effective than he was under Frank Lampard. And Kondogbia is really Atletico Madrid's only out-and-out defensive midfielder. Unfortunately, Kondogbia hasn't played that many games under Diego Simeone. More in particular, he hasn't started that many games, but we've seen him come on and off the bench a couple of times. But Jorginho, we know what he's all about. He controls the midfield. He dictates play. He keeps possession of the ball. He's a regista, a lot to offer, and we really are seeing him flourish under Thomas Tuchel. It's a really tough one, but based on what we've seen, I may be willing to give you Jorginho on this one.
Mm-hmm. So, Kondogbia has been good after his move, and I think really the debate over here was between Jorginho and Kante. Look, to be very honest, I think Kante is the better player. If you look at their overall careers, Kante has had an illustrious career, and I'm still sure he has a lot more to offer. But then, there's no denying that he's been off color this season, and Jorginho, especially with the fact that it's the Jorginho under Thomas Tuchel has been quite revolutionary. He's bossing the midfield, something which I didn't quite expect after the poor run of games he had. So rightfully, Jorginho earns his place in our combined 11 as the defensive mid position. Now we'll pick two players either side of Jorginho as the two number 8s to complete our midfield three. Tremaine, which two players would you pick? Firstly, list down the various options we would have for the two central midfielders, right on the left, because both the clubs do possess many good quality options.
Definitely. For Atletico Madrid, we have many central midfielders, but the ones that stand out to me are Koke, Saul, Marcos Llorente. They've all been really good for Atletico Madrid this season. Chelsea have also had some very good number 8s performing this season, such as Mateo Kovacic, Mason Mount as well. He's been superb. But if I have to pick two of them, the first one I would pick is Marcos Llorente from Atletico Madrid. I think he's been one of the best midfielders in La Liga this season. He's such a complete player. He's pacey. He gets goals and assists. He can defend. He's physical. He's strong. He can dribble. He's one of the most complete midfielders. So by far, Marcos Llorente would be one of my picks. And from Chelsea, I would go for Mason Mount. On the other side, I think Mason Mount has been an amazing player both under Frank Lampard and under Thomas Tuchel now. Some people may complain about his lack of goals and assists, but people need to realize that he offers so much more than that. What is defensive work and how he presses high up the field. and he's a manager's dream to have. So the two midfielders that I would have in front of Jorginho is Marcos Llorente and Mason Mount.
I would 100% agree with you on that. These two were the exact two midfielders I had in my mind. Marcus Llorente, who's been amazing this season, I think one of the best midfielders in La Liga this season. And Mason Mount, on the other hand, has been one of the best young midfielders in the Premier League this season. Actually, the fourth most, or maybe I think it's the third most chances created in the Premier League, just behind Grealish and Bruno, and actually one more than De Bruyne. That is some elite company to have for Mason Mount. And since we're looking at performances this season giving high relevance and overall ability, there's no such question whether why Mason Mount deserves a spot in this team. With that, we complete our midfield three. Two Chelsea midfielders, namely Jorginho at defensive mid position, Mason Mount on one side, and Marcus Llorente on the other. Let's move on to the forward three. Firstly, speaking about the right wing position, Tremaine, who do you think should our right winger be?
For the right wing position, I think Chelsea have two mainly right wingers, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech, mainly. For Atletico Madrid, it depends on our formation who we use. I mentioned Marcos Llorente in midfield, but he's played in so many different positions. He's played as a right midfielder as well in the 4-4-2 formation when used by Simeone. So we've already used Marcos Llorente in midfield. So I think he's been very good there, but Callum Hudson-Odoi has been outstanding under Thomas Tuchel. He's gotten more opportunities now than under Frank Lampard, and he's been very impressive. In my opinion, the best Chelsea player since Thomas Tuchel took over. So I'm willing to give you Hudson-Odoi on this one.
Thank you. And I think the way Hudson Odoi has performed, the kind of impact he's had on Chelsea, I think he was one of the best players even when Chelsea was having this low phase or run of poor games. And we spoke about the fact that Atletico Madrid play with two strikers up top, and which you're going to be discovering soon and as we move forward with the 11. But because of a lack of competition, we it became much of a Chelsea debate for this one. Ziyech, I definitely believe, is much better than Hudson-Odoi when it comes to abilities such as passing, long passes, long range shooting, and some more skills. But since we are giving high relevance importance to their forms and their performances this season, we definitely go with Callum Hudson-Odoi. So, moving on, who do you think our left winger should be?
For the left wing position, for Chelsea, of course, we have Christian Pulisic at left wing. Timo Werner has also played as a left winger multiple times under Frank Lampard. For Atletico Madrid, we have Yannick Carrasco, who's been superb this season. But if I have to pick one, even though he's not a natural left winger, I would go for Joao Felix. It would be criminal to not pick him in this combined 11. In my opinion, Joao Felix is not an out-and-out number 9. If you watch him closely, he's dropping deep. Sometimes he plays as a centre forward. He drops wide to the left-hand side and cuts in. So, as a left winger, I would go for Joao Felix, 100%. He is even won the Player of the Month award in La Liga this season. In my opinion, he has been the best young player in La Liga this season. With 6 goals and 5 assists in 18 appearances, I think that's very good, especially if you're not a striker. You're getting 11 goal contributions in 18 games. So I think Joao Felix has proved a lot of people wrong because many people were doubting him last season. And now we're slowly starting to see his full potential.
Definitely. As much as would have liked to have like Pulisic or Timo Werner in the 11, there's no denying the fact that Joao Felix has been amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been a big fan. Uh, the fact that I come from India and we don't exactly represent a lot in international football. I've always been a fan of Portugal when it comes to the world football, even at the Euros or the World Cup. I've always been supporting Portugal as a team, and the fact that Felix is now a regular on the Portuguese side, I've seen him play. Recently scored an amazing goal from outside the box, and just started watching Felix do what we all expected him to do last season after his hefty transfer fee. So I wouldn't mind having him in 11. As I said, I'm a big fan of Felix, and thus he rightfully, deservingly, takes the left wing position. And moving on to the striker position, do we even need to debate for this one? I'm not gonna put Giroud, Tammy, or Timo, whoever for this. This is probably the easiest position in the entire 11. So the quite competitive 11 ends up with a quite simple centre forward, simple pick, remain reveal the name.
I think no question about it. Um, striker has to be Luis Suarez, without a shadow of a doubt. Top scorer in La Liga this season. He's had 17 goals so far this season. Top scorer in La Liga. He's been, in my opinion, the best striker in the world this season. Some people may argue Lewandowski, fair enough, but Suarez has been, in my opinion, the best striker of our generation, and he's just continuing to show just how good he is and how long he has been at the top level. It was a big mistake to let him go from Barcelona, but I'm very happy that Atletico Madrid signed him because now he's showing that he still has it and he's still one of the best strikers in the world. So, without a doubt, Suarez has to be up top, one of the best strikers of our generation.
Definitely, not just in the current season. If you look at Suarez, he's one of the best strikers to embrace football, in my opinion. Probably, obviously, all of this is quite debatable, but I think maybe top 10 strikers of all time, maybe top 5 strikers of all time. And as much as Giroud has been amazing, particularly in the Champions League, since this is a Champions League 11, he's scored a poker against Sevilla. So a shout out for that. Tammy has been good as well, and Timo is gaining form again, but it was rather an easy walk for one of the best strikers in world football right now, Luis Suarez. With that, we complete our 11. Just a recap of the 11. In goal, we've got Yano Black. Right back, Reece James. The centre back pairing would be Thiago Silva and Jose Maria Jimenez. The left back would be Renan Lodi. The defensive mid position, we'd have Jorginho. And the two central midfielders to the right and the left would be Mason Mount and Marcus Llorente. On the right wing position, we would have Callum Hudson-Odoi. With on the opposite wing, left wing position, we have Joao Felix, and completing the 11, central striker Luis Suarez. Quite an 11 to remain. Probably win the Champions League with this 11, a team could.
Definitely, it's going to be a very interesting match between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, no doubt. Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid. What are your score predictions, Tremaine?
For the score prediction, I'm not sure whether there's going to be one leg or two leg parts because there have been rumors they may put it in a neutral venue. But if I have to give a score prediction,
how about just
if it's
pick
in
the
a
winner
neutral,
then? Who do you think would come out on top?
I'm going to go for Atletico Madrid. I think they are too good defensively. They won't concede a lot of goals. I think Thomas Tuchel's been very good, but I think Diego Simeone will tactically outclass him in this battle.
I don't know if it's hope or realistic expectation, but I'm quite backing Chelsea to win this game. No doubt that's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough because Chelsea is facing a team which is on top of La Liga and a team with an amazing manager and a team which has gone all the way to the finals on multiple occasions. One of the most successful teams in the past decades. Also won the Europa League, the La Liga, and amazing squad, as I said, with Luis Suarez in form. So it's not going to be easy for Chelsea, but obviously it's Tuchel time right now, and we Chelsea fans have again started believing in things we first thought that couldn't happen because of the poor run of games that we had. So I'm backing my team. I'm backing Chelsea to move on to the next round, which will be the quarterfinals. So thank you, Tremaine. It's been an amazing podcast. We uh, did quite a tough job of combining two such amazing squads and coming up with such a formidable combined 11. Thank you, everyone, for listening till the end. Make sure you give this video a like and make sure you drop us a subscribe or a follow. Until next time, this is Palash and Tremaine signing off.